Hello, friends. I'm back on my channel with another topic on history, and this time we are going to concentrate on the Civil War of America. Lastly, remembered what we had done of America? That was the revolution, right? And now we change the external power through with the external power, and right now we are going to study right deep inside of their country what all struggle they went through. Okay, so let's go on. Yes, can you see a picture? I always take a picture and try to explain you all. You know why? Because when a picture is there, it creates an image in your mind, and easily at least few things you can remember. In this picture you can see there is a flag of America, and there is another flag you can see which you have never seen it before. Now that was this flag of Confederate Army, or you can see the Southern Americans. It was their flag. So this shows a struggle between the North Americans and the Southern Americans. Yes. And in the previous revolutions also I had shown you the flags and the pictures which shows which represents the struggles between the two people, so that you can remember it. Okay, let's move on to our American Civil War of 1861 to 65. It's easy date to remember, isn't it? Okay, so now you all know the first thing if the war comes is the causes. We always discuss the causes, and in the causes, economic, social, political, three aspects we always cover. But in this thing, it is little complicated in the sense a topic which is really affecting even from the social aspects, the political aspects, as well as the economic aspects. The reason is one, and that is slavery. So that is why I have not defined it, or in any of the book you will not find definition of it in different ways, but in a simple normal way it is analyzed, and that's what even I have tried to do here. Now the very first thing you can see is the industrial growth was happening well in North America. Now the industries were growing, the demand of raw material was growing, and the people of the north, as in when the profits they were gaining, their economy was booming. So what they were doing, they were investing more in more factories. Okay, they were investing more in the infrastructure of the country. So they were not bothered about from where to get the raw material, because they knew that they never concentrated on agriculture. All right, this the condition of south was totally different. They were concentrating more on the agriculture activity, because they realized that the north wants raw materials and we can provide them, because they had enough of land where they can cultivate and keep on producing raw materials, and especially the cash crops like cotton, tobacco. This all are considered as a cash crops. So they were concentrating more and more on the cultivation of it. Now, how they were concentrated? Obviously, in farming also, you must have heard there are rich farmers and there are poor farmers. Rich farmers are majority the people who own the land. You know, they are having so many space, but they don't have the labor. So what they do, they hire people. The small farmers come, they work on their farm, they cultivate. Now the share depends on different ways. This happens in all the countries, but we are not talking about that right now. What system was going at that time, I will concentrate on that. So now, instead of hiring anybody, the South American, the landlords, the one who had the lands, what they did, they started importing the slaves. Okay, so slavery was the major cause of the Civil War. Now, the slavery, when they started importing slaves, why they were importing? Because it was quite cheap. One time amount you pay to the owner of the slave, and then you can get the as much of work you want to get it done from him in a very cheap cost, and they serve you in every ways and for a longer time. So that's how the slavery was appearing, or you can say spreading in the entire of South America, and it has taken its roots The landowners felt that this is the most profitable thing. I am ready to give the raw material to the north, and from north what I can get? Money, the profits. Okay. So it, and in return they did not have to give much to anybody, they did not have to give much to the laborers. So that is why they always supported the slavery. Now because of this slavery, do you think people are going to be happy in that? No, they were not happy. Even the people in north, the people were of north, many were coming up against of the slavery system. They were anti-slavery system because it was quite an unhuman act, isn't it, to keep somebody as a slave, make him do every damn thing, and in return what are you giving them? Nothing, almost like nothing. Okay, so the people wanted to abolish this system right from the whole of America, as they believed that when we were capable enough to throw out the Europeans from our country, so why not to remove the evils of our own country, right? So now in this time, an election came up in America, and Abraham Lincoln stood up from a Republic Party. Now the Republican Party, the Abraham Lincoln too was against of slavery. So he said that obviously I'm going to, if I'll elected, I'm going to abolish the slavery system from the country. So the people supported him. He became the president of America. And as soon as he became the president, his first task was to remove the slavery system from America, from South America specifically. So the people of South, they were not happy. They said, if you will do that, we will cut off ourselves from the unions of USA. As we know that so many states had united together and fought against the European. So this union, even the South's people were there. So they said, we will cut off ourselves. But Abraham did not listen to them. He went on ahead to take a step to again, abolish the slavery system. So many states in the South, they break off the union, they cut off themselves from there, and they found their own confederate states, okay, and they formed their own Confederate Army. All right. Now, who was the general of this army? Was Robert Edward. Now, the war was going on for 4 years, from 61 to 65. 4 years the war was on. But ultimately, the southern people could not take it anymore, because the north, they had concentrated more on the in promoting their industries and in their infrastructures, whereas the infrastructures of South was not that good. Besides, financially they were much better than the people of the South. Thirdly, the people of the North were supporting the civil war, whereas the people of South, like the slaves, were they supporting? No, definitely not. All right. So ultimately, the Robert Edward surrendered himself in 1865, and that's how war ended. All right. Now, as we know, every war has effects, results, good way, bad way, whatever way. All right. Very bad. Generally, those are the bad one, but even the laws comes up, which is a good one. So let's see what was the bad one. Destruction, definitely the bad one. It is said that almost 6 to 7 lakhs people were killed in this civil war. All right, their own people were killed. That's a very bad thing. And they had monetary loss. It was huge amount. As it is, the South's infrastructure was weak, and the war on top of it made their situation bad. Now, one good thing happened was the proclamation of emancipation. Now, this was started by Abraham Lincoln. Based on this, lawfully, the slavery was abolished from all the states of South. No more slavery would be practiced in the states of the South. Then the Reconstruction era came up. In this Reconstruction era means from after the war, whatever improvements is done, that's called Reconstruction. So this African American, the slaves who were there, they were always called as an African American. Now they were considered as the citizen of America. That was a very big political power, right? They got, they could vote. Not only that, they even got started giving political supports to the allies of Republic Party in South. So this how this Black American or the African American became politically powerful in the South. All right, and many things were done for their education, for their upliftment. But a very bad thing came up after this war was the racial segregation or the racial discrimination. Now, the South, the white South Americans, they always believed in the white supremacy. They said that no black can compete with us. They always, even after the war, they always had that mentality, and that is the reason they even formed a group of them which was known as Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Klan, yes. Funny name, but anyway, so this they were so violent that they violently opposed this African Americans, and they used to even beat them, hit them whenever they were not happy, and it was bad in that way also. It was against the law. Until this Black Americans, they actually got a civil rights movement came up in 1960s, and they got more political rights, and they could beat such white Americans. So the roots of the social discrimination, which you see it sometimes even today, the root came up from this event, from this Civil War of America. So here the topic ends. It's very simple and it's very quickly happened. So if you have any queries related to it, or if you want some particular topic for me to discuss it and put it on the YouTube, please mention it. Please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you then till my next video comes. Take care.